The worst list is finally here. Oh my god. This video went through multiple rearrangings before I felt truly confident in the list that I made. But yeah, are y'all ready to hear some ass? I am ready. Oh, and by the way, none of the artists on the thumbnail are actually on the list. I wanted to keep it spoiler free. So, yeah, have fun. So in my best list video, I said, Twitter scans will defend the worst song you have ever heard in your life, and I wasn't lying. To make it worse, it's the English version that charted. Listen to the mixing on this thing. How did it get worse? LE SSERAFIM has always been in desperate need of a musical identity. They feel like HYBE's version of ITZY, where they started as something, but now they just throw whatever's trending onto them and hope it sticks. This song is riding the successes of multiple other songs, but primarily Gnarly by KATSEYE. So what makes Spaghetti 10th worst, but Gnarly 10th best? This is because Gnarly is secretly genius. Now for a tangent on why Gnarly is secretly genius, I am so for real. So when I put Gnarly on my best list, I said, the song's a mess, the beat's a mess, the lyrics are a mess, the video's a mess, and it all works for some reason. And I know why now. So Gnarly was written by Alice Longyu Gao, a Chinese hyperpop artist with a Bachelor of Science in Philosophy from Boston University. And hyperpop as a genre is a critique of capitalism, and Gao cranks this up to 11. For example, her songs Dumb Bitch Juice and Rich Bitch Juice have to do with how alcoholism manifests in upper and lower classes. Or her song 100 Boyfriends, which is a satire of primarily white LA influencers. So let's take this perspective and put it on Gnarly. From the starting lyrics, boba tea, Tesla, and fried chicken, they're all intentional pieces for the message of hyperconsumption. Boba tea became gentrified, Tesla being the most popular electric car company only because it's owned by the richest man in the world. Fried chicken is a reference to a person that Gao had met.
One time I went on a date with a white boy princess. Later on, his friend told me that actually his favorite food is fried chicken. His whole diet is fried chicken. Like, that's the only thing he eats. This scene of this white boy princess eating fried chicken non-stop and only eat fried chicken could never fade away from my head.
And they're all back to back to back, showing how with all these shallow things, you don't really have time to simmer on them. Call them gnarly and then you move on. Also, noticing the difference to how they say these lyrics.
Oh my god, this song is so lit, congratulations. Oh my god, this song is so lit, congratulations.
Gao says it in a robotic way to resemble someone just mindlessly consuming, while KATSEYE is baddie slop. I also said, hottie hottie, like a bag of Takis. Are we dead ass? Picking Takis out of all things is actually meaningful. Takis are designed to be as addicting as possible and have no nutritional value. KATSEYE is comparing themselves to Takis as a critique of idol culture. So basically, what Gao did was give KATSEYE a song about how KATSEYE is nothing but hyperconsumption. And then their label didn't understand that and turned them into the baddie slop. That's genius. KATSEYE has fallen into a trap of trying to remake the success of Gnarly, but all their new songs are just sloppy to be sloppy. And LE SSERAFIM trying to get a piece of that fell into slop. Everything about Spaghetti is unintentional, down to the song title, Spaghetti. LE SSERAFIM comparing themselves to spaghetti means absolutely nothing in the context of the song. It's random. They really could not think of a single dish that actually fits the lyrics. Spaghetti doesn't get stuck in your teeth. It's almost like it was thrown together to ride the waves of previous success. To be fair, that's the same as like their whole career, I can't even lie. I hate when a song sucks, but the subject matter is about how you can't keep them out of your mouth. Because if you criticize the song at all, the most annoying person in the world will reply with, you're doing what they want, you're always talking about them, eat it up, eat it. Oh my god. Those tweets piss me off. Oh my god, I hate stan culture so much. Also, I've noticed that LE SSERAFIM stans, they'll praise the song and then like shit on J-Hope's part. Mind you, that's the best part of the song. Side tangent, J-Hope is definitely the best of BTS, and I think he's not going to be the most famous of the members, but I think he'll have the best discography. Well, me talking about this song at all is not helping me to avoid the wrath of LE SSERAFIM's fanbase, so hopefully I don't have to ever talk about this song again.
Eat it up, eat it up.
Speaking of the most annoying stans of all time, Taylor Swift fans. How the fans reacted to Fate of Ophelia kind of reminds me of Ben Shapiro. Their supreme leader will do some bullshit, they won't defend it, but then 2 weeks later they'll go back to glazing like nothing ever happened. The amount of Taylor's fans I've seen who quote-unquote changed their minds or never hated Life of a Showgirl, I know you're lying. You know you're lying to yourself. Matter of fact, let's go through every single song on the album and just name one thing wrong with them. Just one. That Sabrina Carpenter feature isn't gonna save the song from sounding like 50 other songs that you've made. Boring, oh my god. Cancelled in the big 2-5. No, Taylor, I don't want to listen to a song about Travis Kelce's giant meat. Apparently his dick is small anyway. Okay, I'm moving a little bit. What was wrong with this song again? Oh no, oh no. Charli XCX wrote Sympathy is a Knife about how she feels inferior to Taylor Swift in every way. Taylor took this with offense for some reason and responded with this song, basically saying, fuck you, you obsessed coke face bitch. There is so many things wrong with that. Even more boring than Honey.
Everybody's so punk on the internet. Every joke's just trolling and memes. Everybody's cutthroat in the comments. And we looked fire, but I'm not a bad bitch, and this isn't savage.
Referring to Travis's dating history of exclusively black women as bad bitches and savages? Okay.
I pay the check before it kisses the mahogany grain.
Taylor Swift said that this is her favorite writing style. Here's a video that I saw that delves into that.
She says that's her favorite kind of writing, because like you have to think about what do those words mean, which very clearly means that you pay the check before it hits the table. Like that's not from the song Father Figure, which is about Taylor being in a place in authority. Money doesn't immediately indicate authority. The rest of the verse has nothing to do with this like restaurant scene. So like this line, like it really is like a throwaway line, and I don't like it's not accomplishing what you wanted to accomplish. You're just saying that you have enough money to pay the bill at a restaurant, which that doesn't lend you any kind of authority. Synonyms do not exist. Touches the mahogany grain does have a slightly better mouthfeel in terms of singing. Touches and kisses, like they have different nuances. Those words, like they give you different imagery. How's like any of that, those nuances specifically being used in this context of this imagery of a waiter placing a check on the table? Like it's needlessly florid. Poetry is supposed to like mean something. That's what makes it poetic, not it sounding pretty. Mahogany is a wood that is known for being expensive. You can brag about, oh, I'm going to like a nice restaurant, but like that doesn't double down on like your authority at all. Like it's so needless. It's the kind of wood that is good for making stringed instruments, such as guitars. It would have been a much smarter line to have be like, oh, like, I get paid before like I touch the mahogany grain, as in like I get paid before I played my instrument, because it's not my musical skill or prowess that's giving me authority. It's my very presence. Mahogany wood has a really strong association with slavery. I'm actually fully willing to accept the fact that her specifically become mahogany, a wood with deep ties to slavery, is coincidental, because like I don't think she actually thinks about her lyrics at all. I genuinely believe she said the word mahogany because it's a fancy sounding word. Which is why if she actually like knew anything, she wouldn't have made it mahogany, she would have made it ebony. Ebony is incredibly expensive, or at least it was like in Europe for thousands of years. It's been beloved for thousands of years. Ebony cracks easily, so like not only is it like expensive to have to import it, you also like have to have like expert craftsmen like working on it. Ebony has like a really strong history of being made into plectrums, guitar picks. It would make a lot more sense to reference a kind of wood that is used for the pick, which you like use to actually strum an instrument and get sound rather than the body, because that lends itself to the authority. That kind of line would have been like so much more powerful in this context, and of course a hell of a lot more effective. And it would have barely changed anything, because it's not like that line even like makes sense in the context wherein it's found.
This song invented a new form of chart manipulation. And it still lost to Bad Bunny, I know that's right. Wait, this song isn't so bad. Oh my god. And we finally reached the last song, the one that's actually on the list. This song is everything wrong with Taylor's songwriting. It's so clunky. She rhymed tower with powers with a S? Why? Why'd you add the S there? The song doesn't flow together at all. Another example is when she uses the word scorpions in the song. It's a reference to Macbeth. I remember when I was writing this, there was niche Twitter discourse about Smash Bros mods making their characters' movesets just the most niche references you can. You don't need to do that. Make a competent moveset first. Just references to be a reference. Or like the Charli XCX thing, she'll just completely misinterpret everything. Ophelia was failed by all the men around her, leading her to suicide. Taylor completely undermines her story by going, Ophelia would have been fine if she just had another man there to save her. Oh my god. Well, that was Baby Music Critic's first Taylor Swift dragging. I think I did a pretty good job. So I put Who Knows by Daniel Caesar in my honorable mentions, and I got a story about my first listen. It's like 2 in the morning and I'm ready to blast the brand new hit songs that week. And Who Knows is such a beautiful song. It created such a beautiful atmosphere, left my eyes watery, but I forgot to turn off autoplay. Here's the next song that played in my headphones.
Hello darkness, my old friend. Hello.
completely killed the atmosphere. NF has zero self-awareness. Like, sure, you have 2.5 good songs, but that's 2.5 in such a massive discography. We gotta lock in. I appreciate what NF tries to do, but he can never just shake off the corniness in his writing. Like, he's so close to being at least decent, but he shoots himself in the foot every single time. Like the second part where the song's building up, it would be so good if it was done by literally anyone else. Even when his subject matter is so serious, he's just a dork, I don't know. The song was also used at the Olympic free skate event by the straightest figure skater of all time. I mean, I guess, bro. Speaking of white rappers,
I wish it was just us and this bitch, but they can't trust us and this bitch.
this song Freefall just like his career should. What does this guy provide that isn't done better by literally any other rapper? Thank fuck the white rapper method is being passed. Jack Harlow needs to be stopped. His lyricism isn't as clunky as Taylor's is, and he isn't as corny as NF is. But it's the perfect amount of each to be as annoying as humanly possible, while also being safe and boring. How do you do that? I'm gonna fall asleep to this song and have nightmares of Jack Harlow having another hit. And then Doja Cat is here to drop an okay verse, but it genuinely sounds like she's wrapping circles around this guy because he sucks. He sucks, oh my god. Please stop letting Jack Harlow get away with this. He just released a neo soul album.
I got blacker.
Shout out to everyone for not letting this do anything. Thank you so much. Maybe he'll be gone for good this time.
And I'm playing like the crew that came up through my hometown.
Hey, Gracie, take care of this pussy ass nigga.
So in 2024, Avid N-word sayer Morgan Wallen teamed up with Ultimate Culture Vulture Post Malone and made I Had Some Help. Nobody liked this. Not only did the people who made this song suck, but the subject matter is basically blaming Morgan's ex for his alcohol problem. And so in 2025, Morgan said, "You know what's better than one song where I blame my alcohol addiction on my ex featuring Post Malone? 2 songs where I blame my alcohol addiction on my ex featuring Post Malone." Morgan Wallen has zero creativity. His last album, 37 songs long, and has the same 2 beats over the same 3 topics: bloating, final boss, and on top of that, zero self-awareness. Blaming his ex for his alcohol problem? Maybe she was handing you alcohol when you asked because she was scared of you. I don't know, just a hunch. Also, you titled your slog of an album, I'm the Problem, and filled it with songs about how your ex is the problem? Okay. Also, one last thing, I'm just noticing, Morgan Wallen's allowed to compare himself to Jesus, but when Lil Nas X does it, it killed his career. Just saying. So this song is Pussy Palace by Lily Allen. It's not very good. I was gonna put it in the honorable mentions, but I heard that the album it's from is really good. So I went to listen to it, and yeah, it's not bad. She wrote the album to expose her husband that was cheating on her. Pussy Palace is definitely the weakest standalone song, but it's better within the context of the album, so I took it off the honorable mentions. Later, I see a tweet of Lily on tour where she's wrapped in a huge receipt with all the things her husband spent on this other girl, which is really creative and a fun visual, until I saw a reply that said something along the lines of, "This would have ate if she wasn't a cheater herself." What? And the more I learned about her, the more this song went further and further up the worst list. Lily Allen has cheated on multiple partners in the past, one time even titling her album No Remorse in response. Not only is she a hypocrite about this, but she's all around a horrible person. When Kesha revealed that she was being essayed by Dr. Luke, Lily dressed up as Dr. Luke as a gynecologist for Halloween. She also put one of her exes, which she cheated on, Peener, in a blackface caricature and called it Azalea Banks. A horrible person and known cheater gets cheated on and makes a full album and tour to rip him to shreds. All the songs I enjoyed off that album are tainted now. And for Pussy Palace, it went from bad to abysmal. I didn't know I was your Pussy Palace, I always thought it was your dojo. I understand what she's trying to say here, but first of all, it's clunky, and second of all, it sounds like shit. Just because something makes logical sense doesn't mean it makes good song lyrics. How are you gonna be worse than Taylor Swift at that? I hope I never see you again. Fuck you, Lily Allen. Speaking of blackface, Lady Gaga. So Lady Gaga released the album Mayhem this year. That was kind of supposed to be a return to the old Gaga, but it kind of just sounds like 15-year-old cuts from those older albums. I really liked the first single, Disease, but the hits only got worse and worse from there. Abracadabra was not good. like at all. I am not going to be brainwashed by Gaga fans that this song is anything more than a Fame Monster reject. The other two are worse by like a lot, and one of them was going to take the spot originally until the Grammys. So Bad Bunny, very deservingly, won Album of the Year against a super stacked nominee list. And the fan bases of the losing nominations were understanding and congratulating him. All except for one, the Lady Gaga stans, who had a multitude of excuses, despite literally winning Best Pop Vocal Album, the Good at Singing award. That's probably more valuable on Stan Twitter anyway. You had people saying that she lost only because she's a woman. Mind you, she lost to a Hispanic man, and racism has always and will always be a bigger factor than misogyny. So because of that, I'm gonna be petty and put Abracadabra right here. This song has only gotten worse and worse, and also the song of one of Gaga's worst performances. Like, okay, the camera's moving around, she's just standing there, occasionally humping the keyboard. People really thought that this deserved more than Bad Bunny? Be so for real. Aubrey, have you learned nothing? You got dissed by multiple people since 2024. I know Kendrick did the big one, but let's focus on the catalyst, Megan Thee Stallion. A lot of people forget that Megan was the one who started dissing Drake. He and a lot of others should be thankful that Nicki took all the heat off of them. The most obvious jab at Drake and Hiss is when Megan goes, cosplay, gangsters, fake ass accents. And guess what Drake is still doing? All the girls that's here for the shoot, come put two hands on a DJ boot. This song is embarrassing. Everything about it just makes Drake look like an even bigger loser than he already is. Good God. Yeah. And then there's Central C, who's British, and ass, and British. Pick a struggle. I got a chopstick for your 1 ton. Get away from my people. Good God. Yeah. Then work. Yeah, work. Is that a Rihanna reference? The same Rihanna that rejected you on live TV? First you stole my flow, so I stole your bitch. Good God. Yeah. Drake and Central C is a combo that I never want to hear again. Good God. So in my honorable mentions, I said, he made me go through Jessie Murph's whole discography trying to find more music. There was like no good songs, and I wasn't lying. Boy, mad at you. I actually really like her voice when she uses it right. This is not one of those cases. This song is like a raccoon with a cheese grater. Oh my God. Saying I ain't mad at you and had to get back at you right after each other. Okay. It doesn't help that out of 61 lines, there is a grand total of 5 that don't repeat. Truly one of the greatest lyricists of all time. And since there's only 14 original lines total in the song, what am I supposed to talk about? There's nothing here. Only Jessie Murph could make a song less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds long and have it still be a slog to sit through. Had to get back at you. Now before we get to the number 1 spot, here's a list of honorable mentions. This song would have been actively good if he didn't pitch his voice up like that. You Are Not Alvin. This song would have been on the list if Doechii didn't waste one of the best rap performances of the decade. This is like Busta Rhymes on that one shitty Chris Brown song. Speaking of Blackpink, Lisa's parts are just as ass as Jennie's, so really this placement was on the feature, and feature is a whole lot of nothing. Why is it mixed like that? Rihanna's return to music and we get 4 lines. That album is never happening. Baby girl, wanna see you dance, wanna see you twirl. I mean, this song's like, alright, what's the problem? Oh my God, oh my God. These two don't work together at all. It's genuinely grating to listen to. The worst of Sabrina's gimmick. I'm hoping he does something a little different the next album. Chapel, you can't hide behind your 2.5 life-changing songs forever. You've released nothing good this year, and with your publicity, you're gonna become the next DaBaby if you don't lock in. This was originally Abracadabra's spot, and here's a list of songs that were so boring I couldn't even bother to say anything about them. Finally, we are at the end of the list, and you may be thinking, what song could possibly be worse than the last 9 poorly written, Stan Twitter fueled, corny ass songs? Well, only one artist could ever be as bad as all of these songs combined. And of course, it's Ed fucking Sheeran. This song pisses me off unlike any other. Ed Sheeran's happy-go-lucky ass. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, for positives. I like the Punjabi influences. Too bad it's wasted on Ed fucking Sheeran. And that's it. That's all the positives. And notice how I couldn't even enjoy the positives because of Ed fucking Sheeran. The negatives. Literally everything else. This song sucks. I don't want to write about it. I don't want to. What mood do you have to be in to be like, oh, I want to listen to Ed Sheeran. I want to write about Ed Sheeran. Who wants to write about Ed Sheeran? This guy makes nothing music for nobody. I am baffled at how you are one of the most popular artists of all time. And I'm tired, and I have to get this video out. So I'm not going to talk about you anymore. Bye-bye. Okay, well, that was the worst list. I know this took a lot longer than it should have. A lot happened in my life. Like, this video was supposed to be finished like a good 2 weeks before the Doechii one. Yeah, after this video, it's back to regular programming. I get to make gaming videos again. I've missed making gaming videos. I'm really excited for that. Well, if you like this, please be sure to like, subscribe, all the things. Comment your opinions as well. And yeah, bye-bye.